Hi there, this video is for all first-year students who are applying to live on campus for the 2019-2020 academic year. This video goes over step 2 of the application process, which is finding and verifying a roommate. My name is Evelyn Ben Boehm. I'm the Assignments and Marketing Coordinator for Housing and Residence Life. You may recognize my voice if you've come to Explore Eastern and sat through a housing presentation, or if you've already come to EMU for Fast Track and went to the housing presentation during lunch. One of my many responsibilities is our housing application system. I build out and manage all of the processes that you find in the housing portal. As you've probably noticed, the first year application is a 3-step process for those who apply before June 7th. In this video, I'll be briefly talking about some really important pages in step 1 and going over the ins and outs of completing step 2. More videos will be posted to help you with step 3 of the process. You'll find these online and within the application process shortly. Before step 2 opens on May 1st at 10 a.m., there are 2 areas that you completed in step 1 that I highly recommend you go back, review, and update as needed. First, go back and read through your personal profile. This was a text box where you were asked to write a personal description about yourself. The most successful roommate searches start with a detailed personal profile. Make sure to note any likes or dislikes you have. If there are things that you just cannot live with or live without, make sure to write those in your profile. If you'd like to live in one of our living, learning, or theme communities, make that known to everybody that reads your profile. For example, if you want to live in the health and wellness community, you're going to want other people to know this on the front side. I do want to make a special statement about honors, brotherhood, sisterhood, and trio. Each of these communities require students to apply and be accepted to the program in order to live in that community. You definitely don't want to waste your time or another student's time if one of you is not eligible to live in that community. Also, make sure that you provide some alternative forms of contact in your profile. In the application, when you message another student, it sends them an email to their active email address on file, which tells them that they have a message in the application and to log in to review it. The problem with this is sometimes a student's active email address is not something they're checking on a regular basis. While you should still message a potential roommate through the application, it is super helpful if you can also message them on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You could also provide your preferred email in your profile to help potential roommates get a hold of you. The second thing you'll want to do is go back and double check the answers you provided on the roommate matching questions pages. There were 3 of those pages. This is especially important if someone filled out step 1 of your application. While we greatly discourage this, parents and guardians have admitted they filled out these questions on behalf of their student. How the student actually feels might be different from how the parent or guardian feels. Also, if you have any questions about what we mean in any of the questions we've asked you, don't be afraid to ask about it. Step 2 of the first year application process opens at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, May 1st and closes at 11:55 p.m. on Friday, June 7th. Your goal is to have a confirmed or verified roommate group of 2 people by the June 7th deadline. There are 3 ways to find a roommate within the application system. First, you can look someone up by their name using the search by name feature. Second, you can search for potential roommates using answers to certain roommate matching questions. Using this method allows you to refer back to your matching questions, choose a question that's important to you, and see what other students answered in that same manner. Lastly, you can look for roommates by seeing other students' overall percentage match with you using the suggested roommates feature. This compares all of your roommate matching answers to other students, giving you that overall percentage match number. Personally, if you're searching for a new roommate through our system and not going with somebody you already know from high school or from orientation or anything like that, I think the best way to search for roommates is using the by question answers feature. Each of us has preferences that really matter to us, and this is the best way to find others that have the same habits or feel the same way. For example, let's say I'm allergic to smoke and smoke residue, and I cannot have a roommate who's a smoker. I can use answers to the smoking questions within that application to find other non-smokers. I will go through all of these search features later on during the demo phase of this video. While you are participating in Step 2 of the housing application, there are a few important things to understand and make sure you do. First, try not to rush your searching and confirming. The number of eligible students you see during Step 2 of the application typically spikes between May 1st and June 1st. Most of our first-year population actually starts their application within that time frame. If you log in on May 1st and cannot find anyone you like, don't panic. Give it a day or so, try it again. And don't settle for the first person you come into contact with for the sake of finishing Step 2. Second, there are a lot of different things you can click on the roommate groups page. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't create a roommate group until you know who you want to live with. Search and find a roommate first. I'm going to say that again. Do not create a group until you know who you want to live with. If you do this, you may have a difficult time verifying your group. We've also seen students that get errors, and we definitely want to avoid that. Third, after you know who you want to live with, talk to your intended roommate and designate one of you to create the roommate group. Whoever creates the roommate group is the group leader. Group leaders have the ability to reserve a space for themselves and their confirmed or verified roommate. Fourth, the group leader needs to verify the group by the deadline of June 7th at 11:55 p.m. To verify means to confirm in our system that yes, me and this other student are in a group and we want to live together. I will show you how to create and verify a group later on during the demo phase of this video. Every year we have some students that are not successful in finding a roommate. If this happens to you, don't panic or worry. You will still get the opportunity to pick your space during Step 3 of the application process. The big difference is that you'll want to view the profiles of students already in a suite that you're interested in to see if it is a good fit for you. So while you won't have a confirmed roommate, you'll still have the chance to look at who's in the space and have some say about who you'll live with because you're looking at that information before you make your assignment. We also have students that tell us they don't really care who they live with. The same things apply to this type of student. You still need to go in and book your space, and whether or not you review the profiles of the other people in the space is totally up to you. Obviously, we encourage it. If you're a student who doesn't find a roommate or doesn't participate in Step 2 process, you should not have a roommate group created. If you just created one on accident, use the delete group button within the application to clear that group out by the June 7th deadline. Failure to do so may impact your ability to pick a room during Step 3. All right, now that I've given you an overview of what Step 2 is all about, I'm going to transition over to the first year application and demo everything I've talked about. All right, pulled up on my screen is the login site for the application. Excuse me while I log in for a moment here. Once you're in the system, open back up the academic year housing and continue your app. When you log back into your application, Step 1 of the first year application complete is where many of you will land when you open the application back up. If you haven't applied yet, you'll have to complete all these other pages over here on the left in order to get to these steps. These have to be done and marked as complete in order to access the later pages. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to review those important pages that I talked about that are located in Step 1. On the left side nav, you'll see a list of all the pages you've worked through. From that list, find personal description and click on that link. Once you're there, scroll down to the bottom of the page where that text box is. As you can see here, my profile is not that good based off what I've discussed with you, and I definitely want to rewrite it. Do note that the maximum number of characters, including spaces, for the text box is 500. So what I've found the best thing to do is open up some sort of Word doc, write it out, and then you can always use the word count feature in a word processing program to count your characters and spaces. So I know this is under 500, and I'm happy with it. So I'm going to cut and paste that over so I have a better profile. All right. And then to save this, you need to click the Next button on the bottom of the page to update your profile. Now that I've updated my profile, I need to go back and review my roommate matching questions. From here, using the left side nav again, click on the first question page, which is the roommate matching questions. So this is the first page, second page, third page. And what you need to do is scroll down and review your answers to all these questions. So I prefer a room where alcohol is not consumed. I actually want to set that to true because I'm underage. For service animals and ESAs, you know, after I've thought about this a little more, I really don't want to live with somebody that has a snake as a support animal, so I'm going to change this to I can't live with them because I'm afraid of them. I don't like snakes. Again, hit the button at the bottom to save. And then the lifestyle preferences, you only have to scroll down a little bit here, and you want to make sure that these are correct as well. So being an ally, this is actually really important to me, so I'm going to change that. I'm also plan on being kind of more of a hermit. I plan on being here more, so I'm going to change that. And I definitely cannot have absolute silence when I study. I've got to have some background noise. So I'm going to save that. Now that you reviewed and updated things as needed, we can move into the roommate selection page. On the left-hand side nav, you can go back to whatever is the last page you completed, which will most likely be the step 1 page. I do want to point out a special note on this page, right at the bottom. What is listed here is your active email address on file with us. Whatever is listed is where notices are sent from the application portal to you. Ideally, this should be your @emish.edu address. If not, I highly recommend that you change it to your @emish email using the my.emish.edu system. If you need help doing that, just ask us. When you're ready to move on, hit save and continue. All right, we are on the first year roommate groups page. We are officially into step 2 now. So as I mentioned, there's kind of a lot going on here. There's video, there's this button, there's all this stuff. We are going to focus on the links on the right-hand side because we don't want to do a roommate group yet. We need to find our roommate first. And I'm going to go in reverse order with these links. So if you want to see other eligible students with their overall percentage matched to you, click on suggested roommates. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit so you can see this. As you can see, this search method shows me the top 50 matches for me, ranked by percentage match. If you use this method for searching, don't solely rely on the high percentage. 59, 60s, I think are the best ones. A high matching percentage doesn't always mean you'll be BFFs or get along great with your roommate. Sometimes students struggle if their roommate is too similar to them. So definitely go through the personal profiles and view their information before just deciding to add them to your group or have them as a roommate. So what you see here is one individual's information. This is just what we call a card in the system. So on this card, you would find their name, age, classification, gender, and their profile. So this number right here, I just have the names taken out for privacy for this demo. So you'd see the person's first and last name here, obviously age, classification, gender, and then their roommate profile description, their personal description, is right here. You can see some people have longer ones. Everyone's really actually doing a very good job this year. Some aren't. All right. If one of these people looks interesting, you can click on View Profile. So I'm just going to click on View Profile of this first one. This page shows you their profile again, so that's the same profile we saw on the card, as well as how they answered all of their roommate matching questions. Again, the student's name is usually up here too, but it's just off for the privacy of this video. So after you've reviewed someone's profile and how they've answered their questions, you can use this Go Back button at the bottom to go back to the suggested roommates screen. So let's try a different way. We're going to take a look at finding a roommate by question answers. So you can go right up here and search by question answers and use that link to get over to that search feature. So this page has all of the questions we asked you earlier in step 1. All right. And for each of these questions, all of the possible answers are available in the drop-down, and you can tailor your search by telling the page what you want to see. If you leave them set to any, that means you're accepting any answer for that question. So for this one, perhaps smoking, I'm looking for any, and those options are I smoke or non-smoke, so it's going to pull both of those. So just be aware of that. So for me, I'm going to change being an ally. I want somebody who that's absolutely essential to. I kind of want to live with another person that's going to be in the room a lot, so I'd like to see other hermits. And I'd like to live with somebody who also likes some white noise in their room when they're studying. And then once you've preferenced some questions, hit search, and the bottom of the page will populate with whoever's matched. Now, you saw that I set up my search using 3 questions. The more questions you preference, the smaller number of available roommates you'll see. I set this search up to specifically find my other test user, which is Sammy the Badger. So for you, I would recommend only using 1 or 2 of the questions to filter your search down a little bit. All right, so let's pretend that I've already viewed their profile and I think me and this person would be good roommates. So I'm going to send them a message. So to send them a message, you can simply click on the Send Message button on their card. And a compose message screen will pop up. You need to fill out the subject and the message body. I'm just going to pull up a little message that I've got saved. Put it in here. So you can see in my message, I'm just kind of said, hey, found you on Roommates, take a look at my profile, and then I said they could email me at my personal email. I also told them where they could find me on Facebook if they wanted to do that. So when you're ready, just click Send Message. And what that's doing in the background is it is sending them a message to their active email address telling them they have a message in the application portal. It's not actually sending your specific message to them. It's important to remember. That's why those alternative forms of contact are really helpful. I'm going to navigate over to my email really quick here. And then this is the email to Sammy that just came up. So Sam just got this email saying, hey, you've got a message in the housing portal, log in to take a look at it, a link to the housing portal, and there are some directions on the bottom as well to help you figure out where you go to do that. All right, I'm going to go back in the application here. And go back to search by name. So this is our last search feature. So you should only use search by name when you know the name of your roommate, so you know who you want to live with. In our experience, the best way to use this page is to enter legal first name and legal last name, or preferred first name and legal last name. So I just want to show you a couple variations of this. So if I enter the user that I was talking to earlier in the application, Sammy the Badger, search, it shows me where they are. Now, one thing to note is you do need to know the difference between a preferred first name and a legal first name. So if I put Sammy in here, Sammy's actually not his preferred first name, it's Sam. But if I do this, because that's how I know him, it's going to tell me that there's no matches, which is problematic. So definitely have this conversation with your potential roommate. But I know his preferred name is Sam, so I've got Sam the Badger. And there he goes again. All right, so now we've gone over the 3 ways to find roommates in the application. So at this point, let's assume that I've talked with Sammy online and we want to be roommates. In my conversation with Sammy, we talked about who should create our roommate group and be the group leader. Sammy's working a ton this summer and is worried about being available during room selection, so they want me, Swoop or Archibald, to be the leader of our group. So the next few steps I'm going to talk about only applies to the group leader. So I'm going to navigate from here and go back to the main page. To create my group, I'll click on the Know Your Roommate, Create Your Group button. As the group leader, I'm required to set a group name and a password. Note the password rules there on your screen. You do have to meet all those or it will kick you back to redo it. Alright, so once you have that information in, you can hit Save Group. And if everything was good, you'll see now that you have a group and the group name up here, and then obviously you're the group leader, you just created the group, you're in the group. So the next thing you want to do is you want to invite your person to the group. So you can go back over here to search by name, and I'm going to pull up my friend Sam. And then now when I look at Sam's information, I've got this Add to Group button. I want to click that to add them to my group. And what this button does, the action on the back side, is it sends an email to Sam the Badger saying that I have requested that they join my group. So again, you can still see me here in the group, and then I have an outgoing request to Sam here. One thing to note too, that these do expire. So there is a 7-day period for these requests. So do make sure once you do this, let your roommate know that you've sent it in case for some reason they're not checking their email frequently. I'm going to navigate really quick back over to the email. So I do get an email once my roommate group has been successfully created. And then this email, Archibald the Eagle, that's my test user, requested you to join the roommate group. So this is the notice that Sammy got saying, hey, this person's requested you to join their group. So this is my action email. I know at this point in time I need to go in and accept that request. So now I'm going to talk about the other end. So this only applies to like group members. So people like Sammy who are being added to groups. Right now I'm going to navigate into my edit mode so I can pull up Sammy's application and show you what it looks like when you get a request. Alright, so I'm in Sam's application now. I'm going to open up the Academic Year Housing because I got that email from Archibald that he wants me to be in his group. Opening up my application. Alright, so this is Sam's first year roommate groups page. As you can see, Sam has that incoming request from Archibald for this group. So I can either accept or decline. So obviously I'm going to accept this. So I can just click accept. And then it lets me know that, hey, our group is full now. That's excellent. I'm going to navigate back to my group leader's application so we can continue this process. Now that I'm back in the group leaders application, you can see that Sammy's request has moved from outgoing to actually being in the group. And I'm also getting my notification that my group is full. So that's great. That's what you want. Since my group has 2 confirmed members, the group leader and obviously the group invitee, now as a group leader, I need to verify my group. To verify your group, you just need to click this button that says Verify Group. If you successfully verified, you'll see the green notification pop up saying you're finished and that your group has been verified by the group leader. People that have been invited to groups, you'll also see this once your group leader has verified the group, so you know exactly what's going on with your group. I do want to point out at this point this delete group button. I mentioned earlier that, you may create a group when you're not supposed to, or maybe your roommate backs out at the last minute and you're the only one in your group and you're just not going to find another one. You can use this button, the delete group button, to clear out your group completely. Please make sure to do this if you are in a group of just one person, or if you create one and don't wind up using it. Okay, that will really help when it comes to step 3 of the process. So at this point, once you've got a verified full group with 2 people in it, you can click the Save and Continue button at the bottom of this page. And step 2 of the first year application is complete. So please make sure to read through all of this information on this page. All the way at the bottom, right here, I will be adding the how-to videos for step 3 to right here at the bottom of this page. The videos will also be posted on our website as well. I'm going to exit this application now and go back to our PowerPoint. And that's it. I want to thank you for watching this long video. I apologize, it is a ton of information, but watching this video should help you be more successful in finding roommates. You won't have as any issues or problems, and it should be pretty simple to create your group and move through step 2 by watching this video. If you have any questions about the housing application at all, feel free to contact me at the email address listed on the screen. The number up there is the number for our office. You're more than welcome to call. I'm almost at all of the Fast Track presentations this year, so feel free to shoot me an email and let me know what Fast Track you'll be at, and we can schedule some time to meet up, or I can let you know where I'll be so I can talk to you and answer your questions. If you're working full-time and need help after hours, I also am willing to make myself available after business hours, and we can schedule a phone call or a Skype or whatever is best for you to get your questions answered. Again, thank you for watching this super long video, and on behalf of Housing and Residence Life, we're super excited to see you this fall.